So, triathletes, you want to find out how you can break sub 8 hours and be not a professional? Stay with us.
Don't wait.
Alright guys, welcome. Christian Störzer is with me.
Hi, Roy. Hi.
We worked together since last November. You came to me, out of the nothing. And we want to show you a little bit what we have achieved and why we have done it. You know?
Yeah.
And please tell me a little bit what made you come to me, what triggered you, why did you check me out?
Yeah, hello. First of all, my name is Christian and I'm living in the vicinity of Stuttgart with my family, my wife and my 2 daughters. And I'm 39 years old and I've already done yet a lot of endurance training, especially in the last years with focus on long distance road racing, especially in the Alps. And in the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, I decided to start with the triathlon long distance training. And I participated in 2018. Mid of 2018 in Roth was my first long distance race, and it was a really special race for me, my home race, and I finished it for me pretty surprisingly already in a time of 8 hours and 39 minutes. And in the end of 2018 I have been already qualified for the World Championships in Hawaii 2019. And in the next years I've been supported by STAPS Training Institute in Munich, and we decided together again to participate in Roth again at the beginning of 2019. And this was for me a really stunning race, because I finished the race in a time of 8 hours and 70 minutes, and I have been ranked under the top 10 overall. And yes, in the end of 2019 then, was the first time on Hawaii for me. It was not really a bad race, but I think it was far away from achieving my goals there to establish on the top age groupers. So after, let's say, 2 exhausting years, I decided to look for more individual training. And so, because I think furthermore it's pretty important to focus on several parts of triathlon training besides of the standard endurance training. Things like aerodynamics, the technical part of triathlon, and so on, to figure out maybe your weaknesses, your mental weaknesses and strength, and so on. So I saw a lot of videos with you and read a lot about you. And so finally we decided in the end of 2019, beginning 2020, to cooperate together and to aim for the big goal of the age group world champion.
So, listening to you, you were more looking for a sparring partner than just to receive a training plan. Does it mean you were eager to know more about training, why you're doing stuff? Because you had a big success with steps. I mean, 18 is a very fast time. So what was it? I want to be more curious. The training must have been good. You know,
yes,
but still you jumped over the lake and came to this Swiss guy, to me. And
yeah.
So please explain a little bit more.
Yeah. I think the training was pretty good from STAPS, but I was looking for more interaction between the coach and the training, and this was not possible with STAPS.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and then he was there, and it never happened to me that I was actually late for the first termin. I was somewhere outside visiting some architects and living in my own brains, having Flusspools, and there was Christian, and I wasn't really prepared, I have to say. And there he called me, Roy, where are you? He said, yeah, I'm just coming. So this, I hated this feeling really. It never happens to me. I'm always on time. I'm prepared. So with him, I wasn't prepared. He came, we talked. I understood from the very beginning you are a professional athlete in the brain, which makes everything more complicated. So I knew this will be a new level for me too, if I coach you. It's not only a, let's say, a normal age group athlete who has a job and he wants to qualify for Hawaii, so it's on the top. I really had to dig deep with him, and many times I sat down and meditated and said, what's Christian? What does he need? What does he need? How can I support? How can I support? So with your very fast brain and your body is just ready to take in, the action. So anyway, so I prepared myself, made the first plan, corner run, and my first goal was to really surprise you, to shock you a bit, because I could always hear from your inner voice that you were tired of doing the same and the same and the same thing. So I needed to really trigger shock you. So I did.
Yes, you did. So I've been really shocked.
So I sent him the plan. I just sent the plan by WhatsApp picture, just a picture, and I could see him in my inner third eye, how he was looking at this picture, trying to understand what he needs to do. And we started with corner run.
Yeah.
Explain me a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, I have been really shocked, because the corner run, it was 20 times 800 meters during winter time in a pace of around about 3:45 minutes per kilometer. So this was shocking for me. But after, let's say, 2 or 3 sessions already, I felt already adapted to the given pace, and I also felt joy during these sessions.
Yeah, I felt it. I felt this is. I mean, this. If you're a coach and you have an athlete who you can really see how fast he can adapt, then you know, then you can feel, you can sense the potential an athlete has. And he did a couple of times the corner run, and I could already see from the voice message, just from the tone he sent me, I knew you were sexy sometimes, really ready, So I knew that you can already handle this with such a short period of adaptation. That usually doesn't happen with a normal athlete. They will try and practice this for weeks and months and weeks, and at the very end you have a little bit of gain.
Yeah.
You suck it in and you produce results.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Then, because you have a job, you're a pilot. Of course, we were lucky that at this time of Corona, there's not so much flying, so we had some extra time. Yeah, we have to mention this. And then the first training camp came, and I knew you just wanted to bicycle, you wanted to run, you wanted to swim, everything much. And then we went to the first camp. How was it?
Yes, generally concerning the bike part and as well as the swim part was more or less a usual training camp for me. But nevertheless, I have also to mention that we have been really focused on consequent hard bike intervals. Mm-hmm. But the really interesting thing was the running part in this camp, because I had to run only 1 kilometer all out every day. So
tell me a little bit more. Where did you go to do this? It was in Fuerte?
In Fuerteventura.
Yes.
Yes. I've been there for around about 10 to 14 days. I don't know exactly. It was after each cycling day. I had to run 1 kilometer all out. I did this in a speed of around about 3 minutes per kilometer. Yeah. And in the beginning there was a lot of doubt in my mind, because on the one hand it's really brutal to run 1 kilometer all out every day, and yes, on the other hand I had a total running distance of around about, I think, 20 to 25 kilometers in 2 weeks on my legs. So, but
I'm sorry, I have to say something. The first thing he did, he came home and he wanted to check how much running performance he lost, you know?
Yeah.
Because he couldn't imagine. I was just away in the camp. I ran 20k in the last 15 days or whatever. It's nothing. Everybody else probably did more. And you went out, you checked your form, and I think you were very happy how you form was.
Yeah, I've been really happy because I can definitely say there was no loss in any running performance overall. But rather, I think in really good improvement in my mental strength, and I think I recognized that there was a better regeneration ability during this camp for me.
Yes, thank you. So this is really the point I would like to share with you, that's very much underestimated. When you as an age group athlete go to a camp, you have a certain amount of hormone, testosterone, that gives you an anabolic ground level that you can go and adapt to the stress you put your body onto. And the biggest mistake for an age group athlete is if he thinks he can improve swim, bike and run in one camp. It's not possible. If he can improve one discipline, then it's already good enough. And we really worked on the bicycle, and we stressed this hard run, and this hard run produced, I'm not a scientist, I never checked it out, but I've seen it, and I watched it by many athletes. They recover faster if they run all out every day. I would like to have an explanation, and if anybody is listening can share with me. But for me it feels like that it's such an impact, a neuromuscular impact, that the whole thing you have done before is becoming relative. And you finish every day fast, strong and emotional.
Yeah.
And I think it prepares you for the next day better too. Yeah. Of course you cannot do every camp like this. Of course it's a period, because the second camp completely different.
Completely different.
So you knew you planned the second camp, and then I knew already in the air you would ask Roy again this 1K stuff. Then we changed. What did you do in the second camp?
Yes, the second camp was really completely different to the first one in February. You instructed me to do mainly long bicycle rides of around about 5 hours, and nearly every day 5 hours.
And what the wattage?
Wattage, really low wattage. Was run about only 190 watts. And but this low cycling has been followed every day by a short and quick run, not an all-out run, but a quick run, 4K run, with a speed of 325 to 340 roundabout. And it was the same like in February. I had also, I think, estimate around about 50 kilometers of running in 2 weeks again. And but finally I can say again that there was definitely an improvement in my overall running speed.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
With 4K per day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it's really true. And to mention here is very important. If he rides around with 190 watt, that means he rides about 75 watts less than race pace for Ironman.
Yeah.
I mean, this is so slow for him, he'll almost fall over his handlebar. It's so slow. So you must have been passed by other athletes. They say, what's going on, Christian? What's he doing? I think he did 80 last year. He won't do it next year. So to ride 5 hours every day slow is very important. It is important because we really went down again, you know, to get the groundwork done.
Yeah. It was really surprising for me. This low wattage really low wattage of 190 watts.
Yes.
It was my feeling was that it was below my endurance training wattage. So, but I definitely felt in the end very good,
Yes.
and I was every day ready for this quick run.
Yes.
And I think the combination between the long cycling on the one hand, on the other hand the short quick run, which was focused on speed, it was finally a really good decision.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. Yes, this is something that the triathletes forget, you know, why are cyclists so fast? Because they really build a groundwork, they know how to ride slow, and the triathletes forget that. I'm not talking about you have to ride 12,000 kilometers with 109 watts per year, but I'm always saying, once you reach a certain amount of level, please go back and slow again, just for a phase. So then we started with your biggest strength, that was the swimming.
Of
So
course.
you probably knew I had a flume, so you had in your mind, okay, let's check this guy out, I want to become a faster swimmer.
Yeah.
So then you came, then he swam, he showed me his nice high elbow. I said, yeah, another one with a high elbow. Then I completely broke you with the swim style, kind of. I said, no, we have to go low, we have to go straight, I want you to go low. And that was a shocker, I think, also.
Yes, I am. Because I thought, what does he want now, really, from me?
Mm-hmm.
Does he want to reinvent swimming, or?
Mm-hmm.
But we did a lot of sessions in Horben, in your swimming pool, and a lot of technical training. And yeah, finally, I can say that after all these sessions, and especially after during my last race in Portersdorf in Austria, I recognized the advantages of this swimming style, especially I would say in combination with variation in stroke frequency. So it offers you big advantages when you're swimming in especially rough open water.
Yes, yes. So basically I just taught him to really throw his arm, you know, and then go deep, and also stay the elbow deep at the very end, you know, to keep calm. And it was interesting for me to see that Christian is two athletes at least, you know. When I'm talking with him about running and cycling, he's listening, he's doing it. If I'm talking with him on swimming, he's listening, he's not doing it. He needs a lot more time to really understand. So the goal for us is not to really swim in Hawaii below 50 minutes. The goal with you is to reduce energy, become more efficient. That's all we need to do, you know?
Yeah.
Not to lose too much, be efficient. And this, we are on the right way there. And it's also, for me, it was a big learning for a coach, because sometimes I have a big head, you know. I want it, you know, and I couldn't reach him. I couldn't. He just needed time. He makes the mistake again. It's okay. I learned to relax. Come again. And by the way, he just did it. You find out a couple of weeks later, you know. So take away the pressure as a coach was good for me, for my own peace, you know. So because if you have two disciplines, they do like this, and the one it's not delivering with the flume. You know, I'm not.
And finally, I can say that during my last race in Portersdorf, it was the first time for me I felt pretty relaxed during swimming. That was our target, and I think we made it very good.
Very good. Yeah. Then we also tested his wetsuit. You know, he came with the Debur, very expensive wetsuit, and we tested it against Hube. And because of his overall position in the water, when he breathes, he will always fall a little bit. That reduces his speed. So we found out that you had the right wetsuit. Yes. Because also I felt like that. I'm happy that you are happy that you know it's a good wetsuit for you. That's already good.
We figured out that there is a little bit more stability around my hip with the Debur. So finally we decided to go with the Debur.
So, of course, I checked before we had the interview. I checked a little bit out the numbers. Maybe you also want to know, what did this guy actually do? Did he train 50 hours a week or 5 hours a week, or what did he do? So, if I'm not mistaken, from 1st December to now, you train 17 hours average per week.
Yes, 17 hours.
Every week, without stretching and core and all that stuff, just training.
Yeah.
Swimming, bicycle and running.
Yeah.
17 hours.
And in kilometers it was round about swimming 300, I think 30 kilometers, cycling around about 12,000, and running 2.5 to 2,600 kilometers in this time period.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to go sub 8 hours, besides having great talent and determination, you must be consistent, you know. And I can see it at him. There is no one week that he says, oh, I don't feel so good, it's just deliver. And this is the key, you know, this is the key, because I cannot reinvent training, I cannot reinvent training sets. Training is sometimes unsexy, feels stupid, and it's boring, but you have to do it. You just have to do it. You know, at 17 hours.
It's enough.
If you play 17 hours concentrated football per week, you make good money.
Yeah.
You make good money. Good money. So, yeah, I think you had some question
yes,
also.
And also some questions for you.
Okay.
Yes, maybe you can remember I wanted to do much more low carb training,
Yeah.
but you always stressed the importance of I think 60 to 70 grams carbonates per hour in one.
Yeah, it's just every athlete comes, I want to do low carb, I want to do this and that. Why? If you take away the carbs, you're taking away energy. If you take away carbs, you cannot perform at the same level. And I strongly believe, and now we are in September 2020, have you heard so much about low carb training as you have heard 12 months ago? No, I don't. 12 months ago was a big hype. Yeah, I'm doing low carb, you know, I'm much better. The story with low carb really is that if you're low carb, you must ride slow, as you did with 190 watts. You must, you cannot go faster. So you can ask, what did really help you? That you made nice ground training or that you were low carb? So I always like to build up an athlete with lots of carbs to get a nice form in. From that point, once we had it, of course we can play around. Let's reduce a little bit, let's go 20 to 30 grams, we do 220K, 190 watts. We can do it once in a while. It will already nicely stimulate you, it's enough. But to reduce food, fuel, it's just wrong. It's wrong, especially for women. Why I'm saying that? Because women always want to lose weight, want to look sexy, want to look slim. You never slim if you are not eating while you train. Forget it. And with you, I knew you're eating healthy. You don't have any signs of anorexic behaviors, but you're just a normal man, eats his stuff. Yeah. So I knew you need to eat. You know. And even today you said, hey, maybe I could have eaten a little bit more in Austria. You know. And you had 16. What did we find out? 1650 calories on the bicycle, 4 hours and 13 is almost 400 calories per hour on the bike, almost. Yeah. And you say maybe a little bit more. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. That's the way to go.
That was completely different and new for me.
Yeah. The more carbs you can take really in and use it, the better you will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, a question. No? Do you see, or where do you see some more potential in me?
It's a good question. The potential, of course, I pushed at the beginning because after a couple of months I understood this guy, I can really do well with him, and I started to talk about special water drinking, talk about sleeping in a tent. I talked about meditation, because you need to do meditation. And all of those things, it's too much for you at this moment. It was an overload. You first needed to become trustful to what I'm doing with you. which you became very much. So the potential with you is because you are a fast brain, you're thinking much too fast, and I want to always bring my athletes to that they feel the body. Nothing, it's not the same. So there is a potential that you really feel, hey Roy, I did this run today in 4:12, it was exactly the speed I needed because I felt my body tighten.
Okay.
And not the plan said you needed to do 4:05. So that's where, if we have this feeling of the body, then I say you can completely forget to test yourself with lactate and spiro. If the feedback is good, you can basically forget about testing. I will say it like that. So becoming to know your body a little bit better is big potential, and also to learn to relax your mind is hard work.
With meditation.
With meditation, yes. It's not actually, meditation sounds so nice, it's not meditation, it's just sitting there trying to dig with yourself, you know, because there's nothing to do. What can you do? So you go away with your thoughts. Just be there with the breathing. Because in an Ironman, usually you have 3 or 4 bad moments that you really feel bad. Everything you, how can I do this? In meditation, you can really learn the trust. You know? So there is potential. The mental side is potential. Maybe also a little bit on the material side. On the bicycle, you don't even know your CDA.
Yeah.
For a time sub 8, it's very bad. But from the feeling, your CDA is very good. But it doesn't guarantee. Only if you measure, you know. And in general, you could be a little bit more patient. Yeah, I know. it's a big thing.
It's one of my big weaknesses.
Because I explained to you, if the patience is not there, the whole process of getting to know yourself is interrupted. I had athletes that gave one training and they came after one training, doing it one time, came with the big feedback. It's like this, it's like that. So I said, hey, whoa. Please do this training 4, 5, 6 times, then you can give me a feedback. You know? Yeah. So to be patient means really to understand a little bit the whole picture of the whole thing, why I'm doing that. So a little bit more patient is also, again, it's meditation, that you are not forbidding yourself to judge, but no need to judge. No need to judge. Just be there. Yeah. Just do it. Yeah. Just do it.
Yes, I'm working on it. I really recognize in the last month that I have always a lot of figures in my head, like speeds, like heart rates, and so on. And I'm always in my mind in comparison with all these figures from earlier times. And I have learned that this is not always a good thing to do, because you have also some different conditions, like the temperature and so on, and the heart rate's changing, and so I think yes, that's really one point I have to improve.
I felt this pressure from your side, because you mentioned the road many times, the 8:18, so I knew if I'm not bringing you below 8:18, you know, there will be the comparison. So I felt it. So, and this is, I mean, time at the very end is very relative, because you place 3rd overall. So, you know, and don't get lost with the times. You know, that's important.
So we decided to do hopefully the Ironman in Portugal in around about 6 weeks. It's gonna depend on the pandemic situation a little bit there. And what will we do in this remaining 6 weeks until the second and last race this year?
Good question, because on the mental side, he can go out now and do like crazy training on the mental side, but his body really is kaput for the moment, you know, after this heat race and running at 4:12 for 42 km and stuff like that. So I just want to bring in volume on the bicycle, easy volume, lots of volume, that you get back past the point where you really feel from deep down, I'm ready again. And then you must give me a call, say, Roy, I need some pain. At the moment, you wish pain because you are triggered like that from the brain, but your body will say no. So there's not much running at the moment. 5K run at 5 minutes. You know, bicycle. Some new inputs on the swim stuff. Until you tell me, yes, I'm completely recovered.
Okay.
My body tells me now we need some special training, some race pace training to get ready for Portugal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next two weeks only long endurance training.
Yes.
And then we will.
Yes. Low. Not much running. Everything in the bicycle, technique on the swim for about 3 weeks until we are stable. Until your body says yes, my resources are there. I'm loaded up. And then I would like to do for your mental side a few race pace trainings that you can remember what you did in Austria.
Yeah. Okay.
Just maybe it could be 100k race pace bicycle with a hard 25k run, so that you I can still do it.
Okay.
It's there. So, and maybe one more long run just to be calm. For the mental side, and then let's see. I mean, I'm very happy to go with you there to race.
So we hope that the race is going to take place.
Yeah, we hope, and then we qualify for Hawaii, and then big break.
Yeah.
Big break, and then I would love to start late. I would love to start with you end of March. Just to be relaxed, you know, relax. Do everything else than training, a little bit of training, blah 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 blah. Nothing special, nothing sexy. Start so late, because what have I learned? If Hawaii is in October, it's too late for everybody. Your peak is naturally always in July.
Yeah.
But what? It's not helping us.
Yeah.
So I have to calm you down, and then at the very end, yeah. So patience.
Okay.
I think that's about it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. So
Thank you.
You see, it's possible. You know, it's possible. Consistency, talent. Sub 8 is possible.
Yeah.
Of course, with the right coach.
Of course.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you very much. Yes.
I'm looking forward.
Let's go. Let's move on.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel. This is my book Triathlon Total in the 4th edition, 470 pages for $28.95. Check it out.